WWE, they had Raw tonight, which I didn't really watch, honestly. I played mostly, I did mostly Apex Legends. I played mostly Apex Legends for most of, the 3 hours, and then I took a little cat nap for about a half an hour or so. Just woke up not so long ago, actually. So then I wake up to this, and apparently this news has spread. It's all over Twitter now within the course of the last hour or so. From I believe it started around 10. Apparently this is something that happened on the show and was actually mentioned on the show by Corey Graves, and apparently a situation has arisen, I should say, and it's being reported, it's spread like wildfire all over Twitter, all over social media. Apparently Sasha Banks and Naomi, WWE's current women's tag team champions, have reportedly walked out on Monday Night Raw. What happened was they were slated to be involved in some kind of multi-person, multi-women match featuring them, and I believe the other participants were supposed to be Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Nikki Ash and Doudrop in a 6-person match, and the winner of that match was supposed to get a shot at Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title at the next pay-per-view. But apparently there was some sort of creative dispute, or there was some sort of dispute or disagreement in regards to the outcome, I guess, of the match, or just the match itself. The reports say that Sasha and Naomi were uncomfortable with two of their opponents, and also that they weren't respected as, the women's tag champions, and that's why they walked out. Apparently they walked out, they gave the belts to John Laurinaitis or whoever, and Sasha apparently had a meeting with Vince earlier, and there was a creative dispute or some kind of dispute, and that led to them walking out. And this was actually mentioned on the show briefly by Corey Graves, where he said they were unprofessional or whatever it was he said. And like I said, this report has spread like wildfire within the last hour. I actually, like I said, I dozed off. I took a little cat nap after I played a little bit of Apex Legends. So I went a little while ago, before I did this video, I went back after I saw this report has been spreading and got the results for Raw. And apparently the main event of Raw was Asuka and Becky Lynch. I'm not sure if that match was to set up who would face Bianca Belair. Not that it matters, but just wanted to get my thoughts on this whole Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out thing. So how about that, man? It looks like all that glitters is not golden. It looks like not all is right in the world in WWE. It looks like not all is right in the E-Land, at least when it comes to Sasha Banks and Naomi. So it looks like, the grass is not always greener on the other side, Cody. Cody Rhodes, and anybody who's thinking about jumping over there. You got Sasha. This story now has been brought to light. A lot of people are throwing out there that, this might be a work or whatever. To me, it's just weird. The fact that this was reported, and the fact that, WWE made a statement on this, I just don't see how it's a work. I think this is legit. So yeah, there you go, man. There you go. You got professional wrestlers, you got talents walking out on Raw, stuff like that. I know Sasha Banks is in a spot right now where she can, she has a little more, I guess, freedoms than other wrestlers might have. Naomi, not so much. I mean, it's surprising that Naomi actually walked out as well, but it is what it is. I mean, they are together. They are, supposed to be a tag team, even though they're not really a tag team, but, and they're the women's tag champions. So I'm not sure if this will mean repercussions will come down from WWE. With Sasha Banks, probably not. With Naomi, I'm not sure. I really don't know. But again, that's the state of WWE. You got talents walking out and all that kind of stuff. And you get stories like this seemingly every week or every month. You'll hear stories about wrestlers not being, not being happy with creative, being disgruntled, like the Mustafa Ali situation, like other situations that we've heard in recent months, like Roderick Strong more recently. Roderick Strong asking for his release, got wrestlers asking for their release, wrestlers, walking out on shows, being disgruntled, being, unsatisfied, not agreeing with creative that is brought down on them. Not all is right in the world over there, okay? It's not all rainbows and unicorns over there in the E-Lands. And that's something that these E-drones and these followers need to wake up and realize. This company is not perfect. They can make all the money in the world. Doesn't mean a damn bit of difference if the wrestlers are unsatisfied. And let's face it, a good portion of that money, that money is not going to the wrestlers. That money is going right in fucking Vince McMahon and all his fucking executives' pockets. It's going to fucking Nick Khan's pocket. It's going to John Laurinaitis' pocket, Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, and everybody who has a stake in that company. Vince McMahon especially. It's all going in their pockets. They're all pocketing that. They're not giving this money to the wrestlers. They're not using it to benefit the wrestlers or the show or the fans. They're the only reason that they keep bringing up all these quarterly earnings and all this money that they make every year. They keep boasting about that. That's just that all they're doing is flexing at this point. And then I have some idiots on freaking social media, wherever, say, "Oh, the money's going to the wrestlers." No, it's not. No, it's not. WWE cut like 200 plus talents in the last 2 years. The money's not going to the wrestlers. The reason why they're making all-time high profits is because they keep fucking cutting people. Because of, quote, budget cuts. And because of their billion-dollar deal with Fox. Billion-dollar deal with NBC Universal. And then that fucking Saudi deal that they're under right now. The 10-year Saudi deal. That's the only reason they're making money. And all that money is going right in fucking Vince's pocket. That's all they're doing with it. They're not using it to benefit the show or the wrestlers. They could care less about the talents. They really could. And good on Sasha and Naomi for walking out. For not being satisfied and saying, "No, I'm not doing this. Let us walk out." Now, again, I'm not sure who they were referring to when they said they were uncomfortable with their opponents, but I don't know. I guess we'll get the full story in the next few days. But there you go. There's WWE for you. There's WWE for you. It's not in rainbows and unicorns over there. So all I'll say is I'm going to basically reiterate what I said on Twitter not too long ago before I started this video. This would never happen in AEW. No, it wouldn't. This wouldn't happen in AEW. You don't see wrestlers walking out on Tony Khan. You don't see wrestlers walking out on AEW or shit like that, walking out during shows or, as shows are in progress or, being disgruntled with Tony Khan or shit like that. And if you do, in the case of MJF, it's a work. It's not real. There you go. That should tell you all you need to know right there.
Can I ask y'all a question? Do you think that why not go to AEW tonight in Houston? Good question. One, Houston's too goddamn far away. I don't like driving. It's like 2.5 hours. And I'm actually on vacation because I'm getting ready for my man's wedding this weekend. So I'm all due to my volume up. Okay, good. Okay, is that better? Yes, no, maybe? Volume better? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, more or less? Okay, we got it. Yeah, I'm going to my man's wedding this weekend. Shout out to PTA Sports. So it's funny. So Rick was over here Sunday because we got together to watch Game 7 Dallas and Phoenix, and it was like a real small unofficial housewarming. So yeah, Rick came over and he was cool, but he was being Rick, and so he got on my nerves in 10 minutes. But whenever we talk, it's always when are you leaving for the show? He was in Houston? He's like, I'm gonna leave Wednesday morning. What are you talking about? I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Yo, baseball and Craig and my man Chewy keep trying to make hockey happen. They keep trying to make playoff hockey happen on Twitter. It's not gonna work, guys. I hope the three of you have fun. It's not gonna work. But yeah, so I just want to say this. I always tell my friends who work wherever they work that I ain't here to tell their business about anything, especially when it comes to their money and future plans. Wrestling Otaku is very entertaining. He knows nothing about how anybody feels working in any company. He just, a lot of people try to get out front and say, oh, this is a work or nobody cares about this and that because it makes it easier to be right at the end of the day. Then if you're not right, you can just brush it off and say, oh, it was X, Y, and Z circumstance. It's way easier to be cynical about stuff. But he don't know what the fuck going on, right? But I played this video because what's the first thing we want to talk about? You know exactly what we want to talk about. That damn Naomi, who I can't spell, Sasha, Naomi and Sasha. Boy, some of y'all showed y'all asses. I'm not saying y'all is in y'all. I'm saying y'all is in y'all. Ugh, WrestleMania. Like, a lot of this is bullshit. So, like, okay. Kind of a short thing.
No headlines, you know why you're here. Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out on WWE Raw last night. Multiple sources, including PW Insider, Fightful Select, and, unbelievably, WWE, have given us quite a lot of detail about what went on behind the scenes here. So we'll paint the picture, and then we'll hear from WWE. So PW Insider say the main event for last night's Monday Night Raw, changed at the last minute to Becky Lynch versus Asuka, which we saw last night, because Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of the show. The word making the rounds backstage is that Sasha Banks took issue with some of the planned creative for the original main event. She had a meeting with Vince McMahon, and the belief among those that we heard from is that McMahon didn't choose to change the direction to the plans regardless of the meeting. Banks wouldn't back down, and her, along with Naomi, ended up leaving Raw that night. Fightful Select corroborate this story, adding that Sasha was to be involved in a six-pack challenge with Naomi, Asuka, Doudrop, and Nikki ASH. We're told that Sasha Banks had said meeting with Vince McMahon, voicing her displeasure about the situation, but wouldn't budge on her stance. Vince McMahon also unwilling to budge. Off they go. They leave the show, and WWE shoots several new segments with Adam Pearce and Becky Lynch to quickly set up the main event for what we saw. And then WWE do something really out of character.
This is bizarre. They've released a statement. They've not just released the statement on WWE.com. They're trying to put a lot of eyes on this statement. They've also posted it to their social media. It's on their Instagram, it's on their Facebook, like images of the statement, which is very, very unusual. We will go through that now. They say, when Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the arena this afternoon, they were informed of their participation in the main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw. During the broadcast, they walked into the WWE head of talent relations John Laurinaitis' office with their suitcases in hand, placed their tag team championship belts on his desk and walked out. They claimed they weren't respected enough as tag team champions, and even though they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct their match, they claimed that they were uncomfortable in the ring with two of their opponents, even though they'd had matches with those two individuals in the past with no consequence. Monday Night Raw is a scripted live TV show whose characters are expected to perform the requirements of their contract. We regret that we were unable to deliver as advertised tonight's main event. The main event to tonight's Raw was reportedly changed after Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of tonight's show.
Yeah, so again, out of character for.
So we can stop there, right? Okay. Guys, let's say that you worked at McDonald's, right? You've been working at McDonald's for, I don't know, 6 months. And you drop the fries. Your job is to drop the fries, okay? Somebody orders a meal, you drop the fries. Somebody orders some fries, you drop the fries. If it's on an interval, you drop the fries, right? That's what you've done. That's what they hired you to do. That has been your job there for 6 months straight. If you come in one morning and your boss tells you, hey, you're on trash today. Now, mind you, you don't even know where the dumpster is. You don't even know where the actual trash can is. Because what they asked you to do was drop the fries. Are you just gonna go take the trash out? Or are you gonna have 5, 6, 7, 8 questions about how you're supposed to take out this trash? And why are you taking out the trash? Right? Even better. Let's say you sell cars on a showroom floor. Right? And you've been killing it. Salesperson of the month. October, November, December, January, you didn't get it in February because they gave it to a black guy. But then March, April, you've been smoking it, right? So you come in one day and they tell you, hey, today I need you on the phone all day with the lenders so that we can process these loans. And they ain't asked you to process no loans before, but now you got to process some loans. Are you not going to say, A, what the hell are you talking about? B, how do I do this? C, why am I doing this? And D, how does this benefit me, the salesperson? You're going to ask those questions, right? Take it up another notch. Okay? You are a star wide receiver on your football team. You catching 100 balls a year, 1,100 yards a season, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns, right? So you're in week 4, right? You're in week 4. You rolling 2. You already got 5 touchdowns on the year. You killing it. Game day. Not practice during the week. Not walkthroughs. Not tape. The coach tells you, hey, we need you at corner today. Huh? You need me at corner? I have not practiced corner. I have not played corner. The way my contract is set up, I can get hurt playing corner. This isn't good for me. This might be good for you in the moment, but you literally have not explained to me why this is a good thing. Like, the problem I have, and it's not a problem, I want to be clear, but I'll use it working at a summer camp, 6 weeks as a janitor. Yeah. So I think 2 things. 2 things specifically. And this is not a shot at anybody. It's just, I think this is what I'm realizing. Number 1, we got a lot of laborers who would be considered unskilled. I'm not calling them unskilled. We have a lot of laborers who would be considered unskilled who watch wrestling. And on top of that, we had a lot of people who can't draw parallels to people with money. Okay? And this is what I mean by that. If you work a job that is considered unskilled, what that really means is a job is not afraid of losing you to a competitor. I'm not calling them unskilled. I'm not direct. I think I don't want to drop the fries. Genuinely, I have worked in a restaurant, and it's something I would never want to do again. And I salute every person who's ever worked at a restaurant. Swear. Like, I think it takes a different level of fucking torment and dedication to do that shit. Some people absolutely love it, but I think it is absolutely a difficult thing to do. Okay? But what I'm saying is, you can't say, hey, you not treat me right, and I'll go work at X restaurant and they'll treat me better. They're not worried about losing you like that, right? It's not like, being somebody's CPA somewhere, or being somebody's insurance agent, or hell, being somebody's actor, or being somebody's athlete. It's not like that, because not only are they afraid of losing you, they're afraid of losing you to a competitor. So they will do things to appease you up to the point where they can. Okay? And a lot of you niggas are just haters. Can you use the unskilled argument if you work with other unskilled workers before? Elaborate. Let me know what you mean, and we'll circle back to that. So, and again, what I'm saying is I do not consider these people unskilled. I'm looking at reflecting how the people in charge of them treat them. Okay? And then a lot of people are of the idea of shut up and dribble. Like, regardless of what they do for a living, the gap between what them and their athlete or the entertainer that they're currently talking about is so big that they don't feel like that athlete or entertainer or musician or whatever is a real person anymore. And so they should just suck it up because they feel like they would suck it up for what they're getting paid. Also, my man's face looks crazy on screen, by the way. Oh no, Darrell, that's exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. Like, it is also a situation where not everybody's made to have a $50,000 a year plus job. In the sense of they're not going to pay them that much to do that. But yeah, when I say that job, like, I'm talking about jobs that right now command that amount of money. Then that's also true. Like, not everybody is made to be in corporate America or in the educational system in America or in entertainment in America, for sure. I'm absolutely saying that, right? My job actually work with new hires, and I reject the idea because of inexperience. I have a long history working with inexperienced workers. Okay, so that's the thing, Sephiroth. You're missing the point. And it's not just you. I'm glad you brought that up. Sasha and Naomi were not saying that they're not comfortable wrestling Doudrop and Nikki ASH based on their skill level. What they were saying is, why are we wrestling them in a six-pack challenge as singles competitors when they should be the challengers to these tag team titles that you put on us that you say you want us to defend? That's what happened. It was not about the skill level of Doudrop and Nikki ASH. We've all seen them and how good they are and what they can do. That was not... Again, WWE is wording this in a way that it seems like they're talking bad about their coworkers. Yeah. And again, it's not your fault because that is how they put the information out there for you to digest it. Okay? But no, it's about damn time. It was absolutely phrased like that for sure. But it's about damn time somebody said, and somebody in a long time, why am I wrestling this person for this reason when I should be wrestling them for this reason? Like, it's very clear that Asuka and Becky are positioned as the top singles women on Raw right now, along with Rhea, who's doing a separate thing, right? So, Sasha's point, why have us in this throwaway thing that is not going to lead to us being elevated? It's also not going to elevate the other challengers or the champions when we have these titles right here that you put on us, that you're all of a sudden throwing that aspect out of the window to produce a story. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, and yo, Matthew, like, not that there aren't other people in the room, but me and you talking for a second. We know that's not true. Like, we know who's in that locker room. We know how they feel about their peers. Like, what are you talking about? Ugh. Somebody asked me, yes, but somebody asked me, and it was like ass early in the morning, right? Cam, how do you feel? Craig, you see what I'm saying? When somebody asked me, Cam, how do you feel about the way that WWE is trying to place the blame on two black women and talking about them in a way they don't talk about other employees when they're disgruntled? I'm like, you know exactly how the fuck I feel. I don't have to repeat that. Exactly. Stand up for WWE. Yeah, exactly. Like Shayna, you saw what Shayna said. Like, you saw what Jimmy Uso said. Like, come on. Like, and it's not that you can't trust them because they're not real reporters. You can't trust them because they can get fed bullshit. They can absolutely get fed bullshit. And because it sounds juicy, they run with it. Like, sincerely, you think that your coworkers... I got coworkers I don't like. I don't mean I want to get fucked over and lied about by the people in charge, because what if they don't like me all of a sudden? They can do the same shit to me. It don't make sense. Like, is there a chance that Sasha Banks is so confident in her abilities that she is not afraid to leave a storyline? Sure, but Sasha Banks, I'm not going to say earned, because like saying that you earn the right to push back against booking suggests that there are people who don't. Like, you should always be able to have a full-fledged conversation with your boss about the things that they're asking you to do. Like, at my job, I can literally say, hey, you're asking us to do X, Y, and Z. We can't do A1 and A2. We can't. There's not room enough in the day for it. It goes against the things that we're trying to do. This is going to have to be done by somebody else if you want it done. Like, and that is like a real conversation at a certain tax bracket. Again, I ain't rich, but I'm just saying, like, if somebody at my level can do that, why can't this person with a million obligations, who they put in the forefront of media, who has opportunities outside of WWE, why can't they say that? Like, Austin was unprofessional. Austin saw some bullshit and called him on it. Like, you gotta do what your boss tells you to do. You gotta do it. Right? Everybody don't gotta do that, dog. It's just not the case. It is not something that everybody's obligated to do. And what's interesting, you bring up John Cena. Somebody brought up that John Cena clip from 3 years ago about what to do with bad booking. And he's basically like, we find a way around it. And, we work on this. How can we make this work? How can we make this work? Cool. That's you. Like, I'm glad you're able to come up with solutions. But you're also coming up with solutions while being in the very top spot. That's different. Like, that's different, right? And no, it's not even caring about your job. Sasha Banks is doing this, I feel like, I've never talked to Sasha on this level. I feel like Sasha's doing this because she's passionate about her job. Like, it's literally the opposite. John Cena's also a top guy who's white. And so is Kevin Owens that he brought up, and so is AJ Styles that he brought up, and so is Seth Rollins that he brought up. Like, it's different. It's different. Yeah, we've all told our boss, nah, we can't do it. And so, so many people turn their brains off when it comes to wrestling that they forget it's a job. And it's a very high-paying job. Guys, everybody with a high-paying job, and you decide what you think high pay is. Everybody with a high-paying job has told their boss what they're not going to do. Everybody. And when I say everybody, I don't mean that every single person employed at a company has pushed back. When I mean that at every high-paying job, there is somebody who told their boss what the fuck they wasn't going to do and still was able to show up to work the next day. Yeah, that shut up and wrestle shit is bullshit. Because, like, I mean, people tell athletes all the time to shut up and play, but the thing that makes the athlete unique is the ability to fight against things that you can't, and to work past things that you can't. And when I say work past them, I mean they'll find a way around that shit. You last longer juking than you do running somebody over. You last longer crossing somebody, hitting a layup, than you do trying to dunk on everybody. You just do. And really, you last longer getting base hits than hitting home runs. It's just the case. But yeah, it's way... Darrell, it's this. Okay, so like, listen. And this is my man. But I think it's a great example. Okay? I ain't got nothing against dude. He's done work with us. I've been on shows with him. Like, it's not no shade. Right? And I'm not even going to say his name because that's unfair. But somebody who produces content and but also has like a regular mainline job, was like, yo, I make $30,000 a year. For the money they're making, they can shut up and do it. And I was like, first of all, my brother, we got to work on that $30K a year. You older than me. You gotta, there's something else you can do. Hold on. Somebody wanted to go work out real quick. That can't happen right now. But no, man, we have something else for you to do. And that still don't mean you need to be pocket watching. Like, again, the more money you make, the more freedom you should have at what you do. That's the way it's supposed to work. Yo, what if he was like, yo, shut the fuck up, talk about my money, baby. No. But I don't even... My whole thing was, this wasn't controversial to me when it happened. Okay? Like, it really wasn't, like, the craziest thing, only because, like, not only have we seen this in wrestling before, but you see it at jobs all the time. Yo, I'm out for the day. This don't work for me. Or, I don't agree with what you want me to do. We got to have a deeper conversation about this. Like, very rarely is it you have to do thing on the spot because I need you to. Like, it's like, yo, it's a conversation. So, I don't know, man. I think they're both going to be just fine. I think that Corey Graves don't seem like the type of guy I'd want to hang out with. But I also think he was put in a position where you're going to say this. And I don't know if that's how he feels or not, but, I don't blame him for that. Like, everybody ain't Malcolm X. Everybody ain't a revolutionary. That's what makes it so difficult. Everybody isn't capable of telling their boss what they're not going to do. So the people who are capable of telling their boss what they're not going to do come across as foul and crass and inappropriate and unprofessional. Unprofessional is a word your boss uses to absolve themselves of any real responsibility when they do something wrong. That's what unprofessional means. Unprofessional is terminology. Now, I'm not saying it ain't a real thing and people don't actually do unprofessional shit. Like, people do unprofessional things all the time. But, Mike Lacey Evans. But the idea of it being unprofessional to be presented something at your job that you are not okay with, that goes against how you've been doing your job, and you're supposed to accept it because it's what was passed down from you. Let's talk about the unprofessionalism there. Let's talk about the idea that I'm not putting you in the best position I can with what you're doing right now. Like, thank you, Kingsley. Like, it's just that. And yeah, Darrell, you doing that actually was better for other people you work with, right? So yeah, man, nah. It's gonna be nasty for a couple of weeks because you know how people feel. But yeah, speaking of how people feel, dog, I don't even know his I don't know his @ Let me see if I can locate it. There it is. Oh boy. Guys. Oh boy. Okay. So, this individual, the K100 Informer, tweeted out this. Nephew, we're here. We're here. This individual tweeted out, some of you virgins out there saying Sasha deserves more than Becky. One, it's already a stupid point, like, to even address, because it shouldn't be this person can say they don't like their job direction, but this person can't. Especially when you're talking about two people of such a high stature. So, like, saying, like, I don't know, what is it like saying? It's like saying Jason Tatum deserves more money than Jaylen Brown. Like, probably, but so what? Like, they're both very important to the success of their franchise, so why are we even having this conversation? Right? It's saying, man, like, yeah, and there's a reason that Brad's above him. I agree. Some of you virgins out there saying Sasha deserves more than Becky. Okay, so in the bedroom, you want Buck T Sasha with her boy tits and bald head over Becky's face, perfect body, and new titties. Also, Becky smokes her in promos and has a much bigger star aura. Hands down. What the fuck is the middle point? Like, number one, it's racist. Like, when you start calling black women bald, like, yeah. In the bedroom, well, first of all, the people who are saying Sasha deserves more than Becky are not trying to fuck Sasha and Becky. Number one. Like, it's just a gross misunderstanding of the community you're speaking to. Because this is the diva stands who are talking about what Sasha and Becky deserve. Okay? But what does you wanting to fuck them having to do? Okay, so I didn't know who this was when I saw the name. I just thought it was somebody bullshitting. Then I click on the banner. Billy Body from Keeping It 100 gives you all the wrestling scoops, the leader in the wrestling industry. Sephiroth, we didn't need that. Like, that's not necessary, but thank you for contributing. But again, this is not about who looks like what. This is about how this has nothing to do with who should be able to go talk to their boss about their job's trajectory. That's what this is about. Okay? So, apparently Billy now works with Conan and Disco Inferno. Two pillars of the community, by the way. Conan and Disco Inferno on their podcast. Okay? So, let's see. I know where to start. Yes, Michael, this is that show. I know exactly where to start. Because years ago, when I was a little Cameron, I used to, let's see. I used to have this podcast, which I still do have. A bit more difficult to do than it used to be, but I still have. So, I had a run-in on social media with this individual. And just to give you a feel, this was, Jesus, that was number 80? Guys, this was 4 years ago. So this was like 2018, right? Let's have a listen.
The South Congress podcast is a lifestyle show that sometimes crosses over into mature territory. The views expressed are those.
But yeah, that week's art was Billy and his very narrow shoulders and chest that he's trying to poke out at, some MTV premiere because he's so cool. But okay. Let's fast forward.
The host and guests who come.
Exactly when the conversation started about me.
No, I'm like cross that dude.
No, and you were like, well,
the science
because again,
teacher
I don't
was rubbing off on me.
Because again, I don't get hit on in the bar. That shit don't happen. That's what I was like, no, like, remember, I'm the same person that one bitch like tried to stiff arm me out the way to say hello to you and shit. I only be shut down.
Rest in peace to the big homie Peanut. We love you. We miss you. As a matter of fact, let's pour out a shot for Peanut, shall we? Yeah, man. Rest in peace to the big homie Peanut, man. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do for you this weekend at Chris's wedding. I love you. I miss you. Always thinking about you, my brother. Woo. Okay. Oh, salute. Got your Twitch payday, baby. Salute. Definitely post your name in here so we can all follow you. Okay, here it goes.
It did happen.
You know, like, come on, man. Like, it's bullshit.
I mean, in the immortal words of Eric Sagne, none of us are special.
Shout out to Pete.
Yeah, like women decide when they want to be interested in us. It's not about
Hypnotic.
how tall we are, how strong we are, how good looking we are. And if the best thing we can do is to operate like none of them like us.
Yep.
And so we're surprised when one does, and we act accordingly.
I was.
That's the best thing we can do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I got a story.
Sure.
I got a story.
I got a fucking story.
Go for it.
Up a little bit.
This wrestling shit, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing okay, guys.
All right, so you got to remember this is 4 years ago. So this is before the Twitch. This is before Botchamania. Shout out to Matthew in the chat. This is before Comic-Con. You know, this is like I'm doing okay, but I'm trying to figure it out. Right? This is like you'll get it. But yeah, this is like before I was ever published. Like this is way before all that. Right?
I think we talked about Fat Matt last week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
where we said basically like he didn't know. Matter of fact, you didn't know until tonight. We talked about it before the show. Like Fat Matt didn't know. He thought I was just a guy who likes wrestling and talks about it. Yeah. Like I'm not the foremost authority on anything, but I'm making my way a little bit. And then when you came over before the show, you was like, "Oh, I didn't know the dude you work for like was that dude." And I'm like, "Nah, yeah."
Guy,
I was like, "Nah, yeah, he's that dude." And it's funny, I was just talking to him. I sent him some stuff yesterday. That thing I showed you from the Photoshop. Like I sent him that yesterday. So we got some stuff we're cooking up in the lab.
That's gonna be a good show.
That's gonna be chill out. Spoilers. But no, so long story short, there's this guy who
we didn't even drop names.
Had this wrestling account.
We didn't want to get no clout.
And he was like not an insider, quote unquote, but he knew some stuff before it jumped off. Like he would know. So I ran this poll one time about the SmackDown US title tournament. Mm-hmm. And somebody who saw the poll basically said, "I don't know why you're running a poll. Such and such broke this news weeks ago." And so then that account sees a tweet and they end up linking me to their spoilers.
Thank you, Craig.
Their spoilers don't pan out.
Thank you so much.
But well, no. But I'm not a petty bitch.
Yeah.
So I don't say nothing to him, right?
I would.
Because it's not all that. But basically they start following me, and I kind of see the pattern of what they do, like this real shock value type stuff. Like it's like, Dave Meltzer is stealing results from me, and we really break the news. Everybody else is fake, like stuff like that. Like
everybody's the original.
Yeah, everybody's the original. Like wrestling is that thing where it's such a work that everybody wants to work everybody. Like, even if you're not in the thing, like, you want to create this persona and you want to be... I think everybody's ultimate goal is to be... Not everybody who's corny, their ultimate goal is to be in WWE. Or to work with WWE. And I even said it like... I had to... And that is where the big money is.
Yeah.
I had to say, like... I have strong criticisms of WWE, but I had to thank them for... them giving me access behind the curtain to the things that they do. Like, I had to do that because that's just me recognizing what they do. Like, they didn't have to do that, especially somebody like me who's super critical of what they do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't like I didn't meet nobody and they told me, "Oh, well, you can't say X, Y, and Z now because we hooked you up." It was like, no, we're going to show you what's going on and you're going to do your thing over there. It was cool. But back to the story. So the Hulk Hogan stuff jumps off, and I talked about that ad nauseum. Basically, I said Hulk Hogan was a racist piece of shit, and I don't care.
Which is right.
Yeah, I don't care if he ever gets another dollar out of wrestling,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to forgive somebody who doesn't work for forgiveness.
Watch the fuck shit.
I'm not built
Watch
like that.
this.
So this account has started following me a bit before that, right? Because I think that if you're somebody who chases clout and you see somebody else doing well, you're gonna latch on to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they see me, you see my. I really think people count follower to following ratio, and they take that into account. And mine is, like I don't follow a lot of people, and it's not because I'm stuck up. It's not because I care about the ratio, but it's because I can't deal with that much noise at once.
Yeah.
Like if I followed as many people that followed me, my timeline would look stupid to me.
That's what I'm saying. Only follow what's important.
It would be like the Matrix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And anybody who is a follower of mine who was like, yo, follow me back, I always did because like clearly you want to extend the conversation. You're not just looking to me for entertainment, like you want to talk. So, I would open that up, but I think they look at that and they see, you check the profile. You see I'm down with the torch. And you know the numbers that they do.
Kind of a petty.
Yeah.
That's somebody you want in your network, right? So the Hulk Hogan thing happens, and I called him on some sucker shit because basically he was like, "Yo, people are gonna be racist and this and that," and then turned around an hour later and was like, "Hulk Hogan's not racist. Look at him and me and my kid."
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Was that the Screamo looking dude that you're talking about right now?
Chill out.
No, I'm being dead serious.
That's the.
I don't give a fuck if he hears this.
Nah, but I'm
That
saying,
guy.
like, let me tell the story.
No, I just want, is this the same person?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So, okay. So that happens, and we really had a conversation.
Yeah.
And it was like, I told dude straight up, I understand why you're forgiving Hulk Hogan. And I respect you for doing that. I can't do that. Because I'm not, that's not my trajectory. Like, I'm not, and regardless of who I work for, who I represent, or who's hooking me up with whatever, like, at the end of the day, I'm a proud black man. And you're not going to call me nigger and it just be cool and me forgive you.
Yeah.
Like, he never apologized to me for saying nigger. So fuck him. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So we do the WrestleMania thing, right?
Yeah.
And I realized that I haven't seen this person tweet or have no results and no kind of stuff like that.
That was funny.
I'm like, yo, what happened? So I searched the name and somebody's like, yo, what happened to the account? Apparently, a few days before WrestleMania, they went on a fucking bender and was like, yo, women shouldn't be in wrestling. Only thing they're good for is spreading their legs. More or less. It's not a direct quote.
Basically, that person wants attention, like shock value type shit.
Essentially. And
Pussy.
they're very cruel to people. Like that, the way they talk about people, they do put threats out there, right? So me being me, like I'm way more interested in the why of people.
Yeah.
Like the WHY of people. Like we sat here and talked about a show that you don't give a shit about, but the making of it is so interesting to me, especially because I know a person. And so, like, the summation of everything I know, what happened with the show and what happened after with her defending it, like, a lot of that plays into the person. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I find interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for clues on what happened to the person, right? And I basically, like, I'm tweeting through my thought process. I'm like, yo, I don't know what happened to such and such, but they were being, like, mad weird, and they were a weirdo about X, Y, and Z. So next thing I know, I got a DM, right? I feel like I should just read this word for word.
Sure, do it.
I'm reading it word for word. Listen to
She's like,
this
this
shit,
is
dog.
exhausting. Listen
No,
to
you
all
need to read
this
this
beef.
for this fucking Screamo.
All right.
Fuck this
So
guy.
here's the DM, right? And I'm not finna give nobody no shine by
Yeah,
saying
fuck
your
him.
name.
Yeah, fuck him.
But we are
Fuck
gonna
it,
get.
actually.
We're chill out. We're going to get these jokes off though.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Okay. You talk a lot of shit when you think I can't see it. Well, no. Oh, so that's even better.
Yeah.
So I was asking aloud why this person is in this position. My man Craig linked me to a podcast And shout out to the Steel Cage Podcast Network, because those dudes are cool.
Yeah, there you go.
My man Craig links me to it, and basically they did a half hour on one of their episodes about their relationship with this guy and how he was mad cool, how he had connections, and that turned into him being a real scumbag to them, calling a dude's job, trying to get him fired over a podcast, calling his wife and trying to say he's saying things about this woman in wrestling. If he feels that way about her, he can't possibly want you. Like, on some real sucker shit.
Wow, what a lame.
So I'm basically talking about it.
Okay.
So he says, yo, you talk a lot of shit when you think I can't see it. There is a reason these scumbags are stealing my news and want me gone. I said nudes like we was watching the show. Stealing my news and want me gone. Yet we still have 100 patrons paying us, thousands of site hits per day, and thousands of podcast downloads. You want to talk shit or have something to say, you can email me your grievances. Otherwise, stay in your lane with no news, no sources, and no relevant opinion. Where do we start, dog? We're already almost at an hour, so we're not going to stretch this out too long.
Yeah.
But, yo, if it's real beef, you can email me about it. You can hit my mailer demon.
And by the way, we can be at SummerSlam, and I'll take care of it.
Nah, it's not. Look, let's not even get to the physical before, yo. Like,
I will.
Listen,
take care of that
listen,
shit
though.
for you.
We still have 100 patrons paying us, thousands of site hits per day, and thousands of podcast downloads. Like, look, I don't like. We grew up playing football.
We did.
Ain't no dick measuring contest.
No, it's not.
We're already naked.
Yeah.
But listen, like, look, I feel you, but
yeah,
not even me talking shit, but 100 people pay you to listen to you. 100?
100? 100.
100? I mean, that's cute. Now, no, you didn't know until today.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But 100? 100, my nigga. Like, I congratulations on the come up. If I'll put it like this. If there were only 100 people paying to hear me talk about wrestling, I'd jump out a window.
Especially when you're supposedly.
I was different.
No,
when
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I never been on nobody's reality TV show.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not an international celebrity. But if I looked up
celebrity
and the man in charge told me, hey, only 100 people are listening to you, I'd jump out a window.
You're pretty much trash.
You know, you're not trash.
No, you're pretty much trash.
You're not you specifically, person who DM me. You're trash.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
you're trash. Yeah.
Because way more people know who you are than me. But 100 people pay you.
100.
100.
100.
That's super. Wait. Let's give him.
All right, Screamo Boy.
Okay.
We're different 4 years later, Craig.
Yeah.
Thousands of site hits per day. Dog, where I'm housed.
That means 10% are only buying your product.
Where I'm housed, that's where they get the news, big dog. That's where they get the analysis, big dog.
Yep.
I'm on the homepage. When you open your internet browser, there's a button that links to me. Like, and I'm not saying me specifically, but the people who believe
baseball. To catch you up really quickly, this is a podcast from 4 years ago, where when I had a run-in with dude who tweeted that bullshit about Sasha and Naomi, this is basically our entire exchange that I'm describing.
Me and my ability.
Yep.
They've been doing this since 1987, dog. You've been doing this for like 5 years.
Wow.
And you keep losing. Like, you continue to fall apart. But okay. And thousands of podcast downloads.
It means only 10%. If you're 100,
I jump on a show. I jump on a show for an hour on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yep. The Wednesday afternoon.
After I'm done with work.
After my real job.
And if we don't do 5,000, me and Travis looking at each other funny. If we don't do 5,000, like, I'm not even numbers man, but I mean, you're coming in my neck like you're really doing something strong. Like,
really, if he has to DM you all this lame ass shit, that.
But no. Let's let that man cook. Let's let that man cook.
Sure.
You know what I did when he said that?
What'd you do?
I hit LMAO. Cause what are we doing?
Yeah,
I'm not.
What are you trying to prove?
Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? If we're gonna talk big shit, let's talk big shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep going with it.
Okay.
I laughed and he said, "It's funny that you're such a Twitter pussy. You'd say nothing. Wait. You'd say nothing to me face to face. Just like those steel cage morons I ditched after making that podcast relevant.
They got rid of you.
They spend the whole week hiding from me. You're all a bunch of keyboard warriors. Nobody can do shit in real life. I've actually been in the ring and I've actually worked for WWE."
I've actually been in the ring. As Matthew has just explained, they let that man play around in there for 6 months, then laughed him out the building. Like, come on. If I wanted to tell somebody that I was going to fuck them up, I wouldn't say that I trained in a WWE ring for 6 months. What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, we got slow clap again. I've actually been in the ring and worked for WWE. All you dickheads do is talk to other dickheads and start your little moral petitions. Pathetic. That's what this is. Dog, No, he wasn't anybody. They let him get in the training ring.
That's it?
They let him fantasy camp.
But
what does getting in the ring have to do with hands, dog? I don't understand.
It doesn't.
Because my thing is, like, we was in New Orleans. We was kicking it.
Yeah.
You know, we was posted up.
I wasn't there. I wish I was.
I'm saying we was posted up. We was in the swamp.
WrestleMania 30.
3-for-1 beers. Like, we was kicking it.
Was he there with all his...
I didn't see him. But what happened was...
But hundreds of people are buying it. Surely you can afford a ticket.
But them Steel Cage dudes was in the mix.
Yeah.
And they said they didn't see him. So...
Surely with 100 of subscribers, you can afford a ticket. You can afford a...
Yeah, dog.
And, you know,
you
you're an international celebrity.
You take that $500 a month they give you. You can take the Uber during the surge time.
Yep.
And you can be in the mix.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Okay.
This is what I told him. I said, "You okay, man? Like, is everything cool?" I just wanted to make sure because it was popping.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're still chatting shit to your Epoxy 1,000 followers. You never say shit to my face, you mug. Just like all the rest of them. And before you get all offended, I mean Mark's not, well, you know what you are."
Wow. Okay, what is he?
Yo! The racism just went crazy, yo. Wait, I gotta bring it back?
What does he mean by that?
Oh, you know what he means.
Really?
He's on his... I digress.
Okay.
This is what I told him. I said, "You okay, man? Like, is everything cool?" I just wanted to make sure because it was popping.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're still chatting shit to your Epoxy 1,000 followers. You never say shit to my face, you mug."
That's changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Just like all the rest of them. And before you get all offended, I mean Mark's not, well, you know what you are.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, what does he mean by that?
Oh, you know what he means.
Really?
He's on his Starbucks tip. My thing is like, look, like you're not...
When is SummerSlam? Where is it at?
No, wait. My thing is this, like, you're not gonna... To insinuate that, like, me being black is going to make me, like, insecure about anything. Like, look, dog, I've done okay.
You're doing okay. You're doing okay for yourself.
Doing all right. Like,
You're doing pretty good for yourself.
And he's like, yo, like, your 1,000 followers. I'm like, look, dog, like, you were on, like, an internationally televised TV show. And at your peak, with an account you shared with your homeboy, you had 3,000 followers. Like, what are we doing? Like, and follower count is dumb anyway. Like,
it is stupid.
Stupid.
It's a thing where it'd be great to have. Of course, it'd be great to have more followers, but like there's somebody with a way better account tweet wise than me that has less followers.
Yeah.
I follow people with less followers because they're fucking interesting. Nigga, you're trash.
Jesus,
but anyway. Okay, we're almost done though. We're almost done. So you check your watch. You ready to get in the streets. All right. And so this is what he says. I said, yo, like, nah, my eyes are watering. This is hilarious.
I was having a ball.
I'm going to keep the DMs open for you because you're amazing at this. Because this is fucking entertaining.
Yeah, it's fucking funny.
He said, no, I have bigger fish to fry. Why don't you let me know if you're going to be at SummerSlam, the Royal Rumble, or WrestleMania? Because I'll be flying out for all three. Then you can say this stuff to my face. But like everyone else who's gone this route, you definitely want to keep it keyboard only because none of you pussies do it face-to-face. I learned this week. I said, so you want me to email you my issues, then meet you at the pay-per-view for the smoke. Am I reading this correctly? He said, fuck your issues. You don't have issues. You're just a little prick. You spoke to me normally, then given a chance to get some popularity, you jump on the bandwagon with those sheep, pretending you're something special, like I gave a fuck about your opinion.
Yeah.
You're an irrelevant 1,000 follower moron fishing for follows. You don't make any money from this like I do. I've been on TV for 7 years, you prick. I never need to work again. I simply want you to act all cocky in my face, and then I'll knock you the fuck out. If you find your balls and your inner black man, you know where to find me.
Wow, really?
In the meantime, carry on tweeting to impress nerds that don't have an income or a life. You have fun with that. And this is what I told him, like all jokes aside. I said I did my research. You came to my DMs and asked me to retweet some fake beef that you had.
He did.
Then you hopped back in to tell me Hogan was a racist, but I should get over it. Then you flipped and said he wasn't racist in public. You showed that you play the wrestling game, and that's cute, for real. But haven't you been suspended from Twitter like 3 times? You can stop me when I start lying. What he said was, I told you Hogan wasn't racist. Then I tweeted he wasn't. Even if he is, who cares? If he doesn't want his flesh and blood doing something, he's entitled to express it. It's not like black people do their reputations any favors with their actions.
Wow.
Which is why Hogan specifically said
it gets better. Listen.
You'd be fine with an N-star, G-G-E-R, who play basketball. I get that.
Wait, it gets
Meaning
better.
he wants someone who isn't a criminal.
It gets better.
He said that immediately means he's not a fucking racist. He's just a father with a daughter. So stop fucking crying and playing your race card.
Wait.
Maybe if you stop shooting each other, people wouldn't think how they do. Wait. It gets better.
Really?
Half my friends are black. So I'm able to live without these stereotypes. But Hogan isn't from West London. He's from Tampa and grew up in the South. Unless you make your friends with some good black folk, you will think how the media make you think. End of. There's your detailed answer to that situation.
Wow.
Regarding me being deleted, yes, those cunts hacked my verified account. Something you'll never be in your life, and it got deleted. Now they complain until Twitter automatically deletes my accounts based on my IP address. Next week I'll have a second phone, and there will be no match, so no more deleting. Now I've worked out the IP thing. Regardless, what the fuck do I need an account for anyway? Our site booms regardless, as do our podcasts.
Somebody's insecure.
I said, congratulations. I said, but okay, be well. We can fight for the belt at the pay-per-view. I hope the rest of your day goes well.
Choose the pay-per-view.
Wait.
Let's go.
Wait. Mm-hmm. Congratulations to you in managing to get off the subject of coming to meet face to face with me. You're all talk until it actually comes to seeing me face to face.
Exactly.
When I'm in your shitty Donald Trump led joke of a country, and you pussies are all within a few miles from me, nobody wants to say shit. You, Ryan Satin, who I don't even know, but everybody has beef with. The Steel Cage morons, you're all keyboard fags. Now fuck off. Go back to impressing your unemployed audience, who probably all racially abuse you in their little forums. So my response was, if I'm lucky. Okay, so we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's just say. Let's take a second. I want to process.
I miss my man.
I'll beat you the fuck up, dog. Like, what are you talking about?
He looks like he like literally jams out like some lame ass.
Not even how he looks like,
or some stupid shit like
not
that.
even how he looks.
No,
and when I say,
I mean, come on,
and
man.
no, sincerely, when I say I'll beat you the fuck up, what I really mean is like,
You really will.
No, what I really mean
I
is
will.
this. But this wrestling shit is not. It's not that deep.
It's not.
Like,
ever.
There's enough room for people to talk about wrestling. Like, I don't.
Why is he so ass-hurt about shit?
Well, no, because like I told you, like
Peanut was my co-host on my regular podcast. Wrestling happened to come up. This was my best friend who passed away last year. But yeah, this is one of our early episodes from 2018, no less. This is episode 14, and I think we actually got to 100 and something. So yeah, it's cold.
It's that reality TV thing. It's that thing that we're talking about with him.
And also, always remember, this is Peanut. But yeah, Travis is. When me and Travis did this show together, it was like on very specific like TV stuff. So yeah,
that thing that we got on the TV right now that we're looking at is clout.
Yeah,
like it's about looking cool in front of people and that hyping you up so much that you start to believe your own press.
Yeah,
and like what I gathered from the whole situation was my OG. I know you checked out Wade. But like Bruce Mitchell is my OG.
Oh, this is what I say.
Is
all the nice things about Bruce.
Analyst and writer. Like
and
Bruce
I still love Bruce.
I told Bruce.
Bruce knows he went.
He was
far.
nice enough
Bruce
to do one episode of Preacher with me and Travis.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis had to
did what he did in the community.
Go and do something.
And I love Bruce, but you know,
when
Bruce ain't here, and Bruce knows exactly why the fuck he ain't here. He's enjoying retirement though, so good on him. But yeah, man, I just show you all that to say like. A lot of these people aren't good people. And even outside of being good or bad people, they don't have the ability to turn their biases off to present you information. Right? So, like, a person who breaks news should not be saying, the person I want to have sex with deserves more. Like, there has to be some integrity to what you do. Right? Like me, I make fun of everybody because if you make fun of everybody, people still will, but they can't really say that you're biased, right? Let everybody be a damn joke. I mean, hey, Darrell, it's difficult. It's difficult. I need to fucking do a contest for a new co-host, right? But nah, man, this is a nasty dude. This is a nasty dude, and what I always remember. Nasty dudes still have a nasty dude audience because that does exist and it's real sick. And my problem is it has nothing to do with the news. It has nothing to do with insight. It has nothing to do with information. It's just extra bullshit to make people you don't know lives harder. Because you have a big fucking head, Michael. What do you want me to do? You want me to pretend like you don't have a big fucking head? I'm serious. You want me to pretend like if we went to a drive-thru and put you in the front, we couldn't watch a movie on that bitch? I can't say that. That's illegal. That's against the rules. I think it's fair. But anyway. Yeah, man. Super nasty business from a nasty dude. And the thing is, like, again, Conan... I don't got a beef with Conan because I don't know the motherfucker, right? But I always remember when Conan was on his podcast years ago and called... we'll talk about Dynamite in a second. I do want to get to that because we still got about 20 minutes. Conan called Xavier Woods the whitest black guy he knows. And I was like, aren't you like a South American playing a Mexican on TV? Like, what are we talking about? Like... Why do you get to make that distinction? But whatever. I mean, Conan's up there in age. It's like a different thing now. I still got my same complaints, but whatever. But Disco Inferno's a bum. Like, your peers think that you're a bum. Fuck what I say. So you're a bum. Alright? It's just what it is. And you know, we have to accept it as such. So, let's see. What else did we say? Okay. No, that's not it. That's the Photoshop. Oh, really quick. It's not even like a big thing, but I think it's super interesting that like Wrestling Otaku talks about how Cody should realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. Cody is the top babyface in the top wrestling company in the world. Oh, AJ looks great. AJ looks great. AJ's clearly like been back in the lab. I think that one thing about when wrestlers get around wrestling, even if they're not wrestling anymore, there is that thing where it's like, man, I remember being in the gym and looking like them, walking around with them. I just think, yo, like she has that, and good on her. She has like that, not only a petite physique, but she clearly has a very high metabolism because she's fucking rocked up right now. She looks great, man. Maybe she comes back to wrestle, maybe not, but yeah, she's in great shape. Like, can't knock that. Yeah, my man Wrestling Otaku was like, yo, you look at what's going on with Sasha and Naomi, and it could be like that for you, Cody. And it's like, maybe, but I'm the top babyface in the top wrestling company in the world. Like, I was looking through my my Facebook memories like a couple days ago, and it was a house show, a WWE house show in Austin 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, probably 8 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever. And Cody basically got on the mic and was like, I'm going to be the next World Heavyweight Champion, right? And it didn't work out for him, clearly. But now, Cody is like in position to be WWE or Universal or Undisputed Champion. Guys, he's the top babyface in the top wrestling company in the world. He is the thing that he wanted to be since he was a kid. Like, yeah. What? And so Cody's like the face of, he's wrestling Seth at Hell in a Cell, which you're almost sure that he's going to win. Well, again, Ava Devine, hi, sweetheart. Which you're almost sure he's going to win, right? He's doing the promo for Money in the Bank, which to me is the unofficial fourth pay-per-view now. It's, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Money in the Bank. So Cody's that guy. Yeah, he's in a great position, right? Now, one thing I will say, I've had conversations with people who see what Cody's doing, and are like, man, I want to go get that. And it's like, okay, Cody's a very unique situation. Are you that good? Sure, but this thing, a lot of things had to happen to make this work. So be really good where you are, and hopefully that thing happens for you, right? But yeah, he's doing great. He's doing great. So wait, I had the last one. Oh, you want to do a Dynamite preview real quick? Okay. Let's look at the graphic, because the graphic will tell all, right? Wait, guys, serious question. Is Scorpio Sky still the TV champ, or did he lose it? I think he's still the champ. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You know? I knew that was going to be the question mark. Who do I think the Jokers are? I've heard. I'm going to say I've heard he is still champ. But it was some bullshit with some shenanigans on Friday. I've heard. I'm going to say I've heard, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I'm going to say the name. So if you want to mute and you don't want to hear what I've heard, you can mute. I've heard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that it's Johnny and Candace is what I've heard. Okay? When I say heard, I just mean reading the same shit that y'all read. I ain't asked nobody. I ain't hit up one of the homies and said, who do you see backstage? None of that. So, I don't know. I hope Cesaro. I want to see Cesaro in an environment where he can go full Cesaro, because I think that, like, Johnny Gargano, who's very, very good, was allowed to be Johnny Gargano in NXT. Like, we didn't get to, like, not see him in Houston, Darrell. But we didn't get to, I'm not asking anybody, goddammit. But we didn't get to see Cesaro do all the Cesaro stuff just because of the position. And they got to do a lot. But I just mean him going like crazy. I'd love to see him there. On the women's side, like, I like Candice LeRae. I think Candice LeRae is super underrated. So it could be both of them. It'll be Super Dragon? Hell yeah, I'm with that. Like, yeah, that should be fun. So you got Paige and Takeshita. Should be a very good match. I love that Adam Page is like, Punk, I don't give a fuck why you here. I'm not trying to have no 5-star classics. I want to fuck you up. I'm with that. They go to Houston, get there in 15 minutes. Okay, all right. Go to fucking Houston. I got like tuxedo shit and haircut shit to do tomorrow. I can't be in Houston right now. O'Reilly and Ray Phoenix gonna bang, no doubt. Cole and Hardy. Like, even though Jeff Hardy was actually there when Owen Hart was there, there's not real crossover. I like Adam Cole in that match. I like Cole and the Joker in the final. Cole's not homegrown for sure, but Cole's also not in the story that's told by wrestling fans. Cole's not an ex-WWE guy. Cole's an ex-NXT guy that WWE didn't see anything in. And I do think that that counts as different things. Okay? I think the Jokers win both of those matches, though. Whoever they are. Workhorsemen, Lee and Swerve. I like that Lee and Swerve are a team. I hope that, like, they get a legit tag title reign before they end up going their separate ways. I like the juxtaposition in size and style. Like, I really like those guys. If their finisher, if they do their team finisher, expect it to be called Strictly Business. If the dark horse is the fusion dance, but I would expect Strictly Business. Jericho and Regal face to face is super interesting because what they're saying is this: you have Bryan and Moxley and Regal from the land of sports entertainment who are literally pushing back against that label. Then you have Jericho, who has been great in Japan, in WCW, for a short stint in ECW, in WWE and AEW, having a young guy like Daniel Garcia, aka Kango G, under his wing, but pushing the narrative of being sports entertainers. So I'm really interested to see what Jericho's talking points are and what Regal's talking points are. MJF and Wardlow having to take the 10 lashes in order to get the match. More good stuff from them. Wardlow, ever since the Cody Cage match, man, Wardlow has been progressing. The crowd is clearly into him. I think Wardlow, because if you look at it, in a lot of ways, it's the Batista Triple H story, right? I think Wardlow has done a really good job emoting in a way that I don't think Batista had prior to being World Heavyweight Champion. Which is not to say he's going to be Batista, because that's rare air, but I do think that it was easier for the crowd to know that he was a guy they were supposed to rally around, right? Of course I give Max a bunch of credit for how this thing is crafted. I think that he's very detailed and intricate and very aware of who he is, to a point where you can see his frustration on social media sometimes at people. Darrell, my man, salute to you for hooking everybody up. But you can see his frustrations publicly with the way that wrestling fans digest things sometimes, because I think one of the reasons him and I get along so well is because sometimes we're just like, are you idiots? Can you not see what's going on? I think that does happen a lot. But no, he's super invested, as he is in everything. I wouldn't be surprised if ultimately Wardlow won the match. But yeah, I'm a fan. So this should be a good show, like it's always a good show. Let's see how much they do in the first hour before Dallas and Golden State, right? We'll definitely see. But yeah, man, that's about what I got. Is there anything else on you guys' minds before we jump out of here? I appreciate y'all hanging on the whole time. I know I had these long-winded stories to tell, but it really is appreciated. We do. Max telling people to get some bitches is always funny. Him telling, we're not talking NHL playoffs. They're skating around and shooting the puck, man. I don't know what you want me to say. I got to add some badges. Okay, I will figure out how to do that. I put my tech guy on it. Anna Jay's on your mind? She's cool. Let's see. Damn. Smoked his ass. Yeah, pay attention to the baddie section too. I might have something in there. Because I believe in supporting the arts. I absolutely believe in supporting the arts. So actually what we're gonna do though, tomorrow night, AB and Keisha Cole don't know she made it out the hood. Like, I went to, I was a freshman with, so I was watching the Heat last night, and me and PJ Tucker were freshmen together. So me and Daniel Gibson were freshmen together too. And just to watch them interact on Keisha Cole and Daniel Gibson, to watch them on Love and Hip Hop, I was like, yo, he made so much money. He made so much money. Like, what happened here? But then, she deals with guys that she deals with, man. I don't know. Bless her heart. I don't know. One of my friends. But her getting the AB tattoo is just like, Keisha can't get out the hood, baby. That's where she's comfortable. But no, so tomorrow night, I'm pretty sure we're going to do a regular stream talking about the non-wrestling stuff. Again, Friday night, we doing a stream from the groomsman's Airbnb for the wedding. So that should be, liquor gonna be flowing. That's gonna be a night. Probably some young ladies in the building to kick it. That should be a very fun stream. The camera will for sure be a little bit wider, I promise you, so that you can see the sights. But yeah, so that'll be Friday night. So expect to stream the next couple of nights. But nah, man, y'all get ready for Dynamite. You got COVID. Sorry to hear that, sir. I hope you feel better. I like the Kendrick album. It's cool. I am in a wedding. Nah, man, the bridesmaids, I'm sure they're nice young ladies. I'm going to the wedding solo, not bringing a date, not trying to get a date. I'm cool. Cam is chilling. But nah, man, I'm going to jump out of here. Y'all take the next 10, 15 minutes. Get ready for Dynamite. Enjoy the playoff games tonight. I love you for rocking with me. One love. God bless.